Michael, it's nice to see you here in Amsterdam. We were just talking about mandatory disclosure rules in Poland. And you were telling me how the Polish system is different to that in many other countries. How is it different?
Well, Poland is entirely a different animal as compared to all other jurisdictions as far as MDRs go. So we have implemented that 6 directive, but went far beyond in that we have our own hallmarks, additional hallmarks. We have 7 additional hallmarks implemented. We apply MDR standard not only to cross-border arrangements, but also to domestic arrangements.
Really?
So basically, we have to report your plain vanilla transaction that don't go beyond Poland. We also cover other taxes, so we had VAT arrangements as well. So many different rules as compared to the DAT6 directive. We also have very, very high penalties, which makes people worry. They can go up as high as few million euros. Obviously, they are not being enforced, but they can possibly. So just this theory of getting this high penalty as what makes people, comply with the rule.
Well, particularly if it's covering all sorts of additional taxes, well, it can be a big deal.
Absolutely, and it is, yes.
And then you were sharing that there's been some recent news. Tell me a bit more about
Yeah. So basically, because of the pandemic, the government decided that, let's get these guys off the hook. And they decided to introduce this deferral on the reporting. And the deferral has been in place basically since 2020, March 2020. The deferral applicable to cross-border arrangements was ended with the end of 2020 because of the EU Commission and EU rules, but it stayed as far as domestic arrangements go. So it still applies now. So it means that the taxpayers, the intermediaries, did not have to report any domestic arrangements since 2020, March 2020. And just yesterday, we had this announcement from our government, from our Minister of Health. And why Minister of Health? Because the deferral on MDR reporting is actually tied to the state of pandemic that we had in Poland. And so he announced the intention to end this state with the end of June, which would mean that 30 days later, all the rules would kick in fully, and all the intermediaries, all the taxpayers would need to report everything for the past 3 years.
So going backwards as well.
Exactly.
Gosh, so that's potentially very significant.
Very significant, and I'm afraid that many clients and many taxpayers, many groups, even though they had this opportunity to actually report on an ongoing basis, they decided not to, and they didn't even track those arrangements. So now, if this deferral ends, they will have much to do. So reviewing their past operation, their past transactions, and deciding whether or not they would be reportable, and all of this within 30 days time. So not much time to do the exercise.
And so when you're talking to people here in Amsterdam about this, what are you telling people, or what are you recommending that they should do?
Well, I'm recommending to go to those clients and tell them, look guys, the end of the deferral in Poland is inevitable. So basically, if it happens in July or August or maybe in October, you will not have much time to review your operations. So, let's do it now. Let's have a look at what you have done in the past 3 years and analyze what sort of exercise you would need to do, what sort of reportings you would need to do in Poland in order to be compliant.
Yeah, not a lot of time. Covers a lot of taxes.
Exactly.
Going back several years, that's a lot of work.
So absolutely.
This is quite big news, Michael. So thank you for spending some time with me to talk about this. We're talking about a very comprehensive reporting thing with very short time frames. So really a key thing for people to be focused on where they have operations in Poland. So thank you, Michael.
Thank you.